We're all familiar with the expression, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. But at some point, we have to start asking the question, who owns the pond? What happens when our most vulnerable neighbors don't have access to the pond? What happens when the fish in the pond become polluted or there are no fish at all? What happens when there's fences put up around the pond to keep them out? What happens when our most vulnerable neighbors lack the access to the resources needed for them to thrive and flourish as God intended them to? We've been given an amazing opportunity to help our neighbors spiritually, socially, and economically flourish through the creation, formation, and acquisition of spaces. The three spaces needed for us as humans to flourish: residential spaces, commercial spaces, and community spaces. Now, each of these spaces are vital aspects of how God has knit us together. Through the acquisition of residential spaces, we can give access to home ownership to some of our most vulnerable neighbors. We can create internship houses to develop leaders to continue to serve our community. Not only that, but this becomes an economic engine to create small businesses, to create space to help our community financially flourish. Lastly, this helps us to create community spaces for us to share life together, to gain relational capital, so that God might be glorified in our midst. We've been given the amazing opportunity to acquire this property, this duplex, for an amazing price. Several churches have already partnered with us that we could see this dream become a reality. We've started the process of forming a separate nonprofit that we might continually see our neighbors flourish in the way that God created them to. Will you partner with us so that we might give them access to the pond, access to the resources needed to thrive that were once taken from them? Will you partner with us so that the heart and dreams of God might become a tangible reality in our neighborhood of 44703?